So welcome today's session to the University of Cape Coast in Ghana. We were connected through Professor Yulia, and this is just a session to take them through the digital Africa. Then we'll create another series of webinars to keep you engaged on how you can use the platform. Welcome so much. So Digital Africa was set up 5 years ago, and the mission has been that of empowering countries access Earth observation to make more informed decisions in terms of using the, natural resource management. So this one, Digital Africa uses Open Data Cube technology and is hosted by Amazon Web Services. Digital Africa is working with partners across the continent, footprints in almost most of the countries, and we work with regional partners to make sure this is possible. We've developed continental services, which are very key to unlock the potential of Earth observation for Africa. So Digital Africa is providing satellite data in analysis-ready format, which means by the click of a button, we can get more information about these products. And also we provide Landsat and Sentinel-1 and 2. And this information is very useful in supporting sustainable development goals. So providing the data to insights is very key at Digital Africa, and looking at the products, and we can be able to see how we can even use it in different projects. So powered by Open Data Cube, we have the map interface, we have the SDGs, then we also provide a repository on the GitHub on how to actually connect. So the continental services that I've just mentioned, they're very key to helping us connect with everybody. Different decision makers, also the youth are involved. So we have the water observation from space, which was the first service. Then we had the cloud-free mosaics called Geomat. Then we have fractional cover. Then we had cropland extend, then water bodies. Then recently we had coastal monitoring. So the water observation being the first product was meant to give an overview of water variability from space, looking at Lake Volta, looking at Lake Bosom-Chui. We can look at the various opportunities to see the trends. The second one was the food security. We are looking at cropland mask, and here I'll be able to show you some examples of applications in agriculture and food security. And here we even provided some insights that you can see the start, even the planting season and the end of a season, very, very key. The coastline service is very useful. It goes up to 2024, covering over 24 years, and we'll be able to see in the example some of the hotspot areas, how Ghana is performing, and how the different institutions we engage will be able to use the service to update the coastal management plan. So the coastline service is able to give us hotspots of change, looking at the dynamics of the mangroves. We'll be able to show you examples to Cape Coast. So the wetland, we have the water bodies monetary service, which is the recent one, shows us individual water bodies. I'll be able to show you the example of Lake Bosom-Chui in Kumasi and see how we can use it to other water bodies that we know. Digital Africa has empowered different stakeholders, and some of the stories we're able to share are from diverse countries, even Ghana being one of the pilot countries, where we work closely with the Ghana Statistical Service and other universities, including the University of Energy and Natural Resources in Sunyani. So we working closely with the EPA and Ghana Statistics, we were able to show some insights on mining and how we could actually regulate mining activities. This was a case in point of Aparama Forest, and we've continued to provide these insights to the different stakeholders, especially the EPA. Working closely with one of the champions, Dr. Benjamin Tago, at Ghana Forest Commission, he was able to use our platform and completed his PhD, and he was showing some insights of using satellite 2 data in Digital Africa to look at the crop phenology. So he was using these metrics to see how the planting, the seasons, and how the performance was over time. Working with Ghana, Big Data Ghana, there was very good interest, and they are using this platform to provide insights to farmers. So it's an example of agriculture and food security, and it's very nice to hear about this story as well. And also looking at the journey Digital Africa has been able to engage with the YouthMappers and also the Africa Women in GIS, and also we continue to engage with them, even the YouthMappers at Cape Coast and other institutions and countries. Access to the Digital Africa platform is through the maps, the sandbox web services, and also we have a free learning platform where we'll be able to enroll you guys and see how you can be more engaged. We have very close collaboration with Esri, the partners. We are providing the data in their platform using Living Atlas, and we've made some milestones, even creating tutorials that we're able to access our data. Other ways of accessing the data, we have the web map services, and also very key to empower other platforms. So just taking you through the Digital Africa map, it's a web-based interactive. You interact with the services at Africa, do some visual analysis, and you're able to generate some results. So going to the Digital Africa website, we have the platforms. You'll be able to see the ways of accessing the platform that are mentioned. And also there is the services that I mentioned, the continental services. Then you'll be able to see the analysis radar data that I mentioned from Landsat and Sentinel from the European Space Agency. So the maps, digitalafrica.org, we are able to look at the platform, web-based platform, going to Ghana, going to the different parts of the country, going to where we are at Cape Coast. We're able to see more insights on how the city has changed over time, and also seeing the various interaction with other districts, looking at other areas, especially now when we go to the continental services, we can add information on the coastlines so that we can get more insights how our coastline has changed. You can access this data on your platform. You can even export some of the coastline data. Then when you zoom in, you can be able to see the change in the coastlines, some of it over 10 meters, some of it big changes over time. And as you can see, even data of 2024, you can do a measurement and see even over 100 meters change the coastline, as our coastlines are quite dynamic. Then you can also see more information about the data. Then also we are able to add other data sets. We're able to explore surface water. This is the water observation from space, which gives over 35 years of data at 30 meters. And you can see even ways of capturing the data. You're able to change the legend, for example. And within Cape Coast, we have a water body where we can actually check and see how the situation has been over time. Then we can also look at other water bodies in our country. We can see Lake Volta. We can see other bodies in the other Upper West region. And you can also go to Lake Bosom Chui, just near Kumasi, and see the trends of time. It has been quite stable. You can get more information about that product as well. Then you can share the link for your report or for your reporting. We can also add other datasets like the water body service, which complements the water observation from space. And here the objective is to see the individual water body, and it will even plot you a graph to see how the trends have been since the 80s and the time we expect to experience some low levels, 2018, 2019. And you can see that even from the graph. And also then I remember engagement with the Water Resource Commission. They were able to see some of these trends were quite true. So also looking at agriculture, food security, key for Ghana, looking at our national development agenda, we can see the cropland, but then we can also go to our regions and see the probability of actually cropping. So these are actually areas that we expect cropping activities towards yellow from the purple. This one, my knowledge was in areas of around Wa and Southern Sudan, even Bongo, where there was quite some activities, which I was informed by MOFA, a Ministry of Food and Agriculture. Here, we were able to see quite some hot areas where there was some farming activities, and you're able to zoom into the area and even see there's a water body. So this means that at least there we can be able to see the trends, how they have been over time. Also looking at the cropland area, we're able to see a small water body, and can even choose to change the opacity, make it translucent, and see how it is actually working. Then also you're able to add other data sets, even going to so you can add the water bodies, we add them back so that you can see the aspect of cropping and the water body itself. So this means it's relied mostly for irrigation at some times, etc., etc. So there are many opportunities with the platform. Today was just one of the first series to look at how we could use this platform for our work, and also seeing that we'll be more empowered to use the platform. Now going to the best part of the images, the cloud-free mosaics, which are very key for us to understand how the city has changed over time. You can also do a comparison, 2017 to 2024, and seeing how the trend has been. So you can see generally how Cape Coast has changed over time. So the left is 2017, on the other side is 2024. Very good insights. Then we can also change the bands instead even of doing a classification. We can just change on the fly, have a false color composite. And from that false color composite, you can see the trends over time, the vegetation, the water body, and so on and so on. Then you can also change to specific index. We have the vegetation index, NDVI, so that you can understand the trends over time. How was it this year? Was it a dry year or a better year than the other one? Then also, we're able to look at the whole country, which is very key to understand what has been happening over time. So my engagements mostly with NADMO, they were mentioning northern parts of Ghana have been drying over time. So very big trends over time. So gives us opportunity to understand where we need to invest more efforts and seeing how to empower our different agencies. So ultimately, we'll all be empowered to make sure that we are able to provide more tools and also opportunities for us to be more engaged. That's an example of Lake Bosom Twi, and also looking at the other water bodies in our country. We can be able to see the trends over time and what has happened and how we'll be more engaged in providing more insights to our country. So that's just been one of the examples. You can see, you can also move to Wager Risaba in Accra. And also we're able to change to even the water quality index, molecular profile index, seeing the water quality from blue to red, providing you an idea of how the water bodies have been over time. And also we can change between different years and see the trends from one year to the other one. So you can actually see the trend. And here is an example of Ouija, and you can see the colors in the middle. And also we can change the other one on the other 2024 so that you can be able to see the trends just over time, seeing if things are improving or where we need to invest more resources in terms of water quality monitoring. Very useful, especially for the Water Resource Commission. Then you can also share the link and even create a story map, Esri story map, which is very key for us to make sure we leave no one, no place behind. Just to see how that works for us. So we have different opportunities, even the base map of SM background of Esri maps. So able to look at Fosu Lagoon as well. We could be able to look at the 3D terrain map of the area, just like the way you have Google Earth Pro, just moving around and seeing just how you can visualize some of the water bodies and understanding. Some of these 3D might affect our bandwidth. So with 2D is okay for us to just feel an idea, and you can always try this later at your own pace. So that was just an example of Teach South Africa map. We have the sandbox, which is Jupyter notebooks, cloud-based as well, and free access. And here, just giving you an example, is that we have very good interface on the sandbox and the various introduction. We can look at thematic areas from agriculture, looking at the notebooks, cost, elevation, land cover, machine learning applications, and also moving to meteorology data. It's normally the rainfall data, radar data Sentinel-1, and also looking at the satellite imagery at the data sets, and even more information on soil, surface water. And we have now an example of, so this one, as we were showcasing, those different examples. And also as we go through them, the images, we also have the soil, surface water, as well as the urban. And also now looking through the urban, we have the landing page, we have the SDGs. And these ones are very interesting because they give you the feel of going through the platform, and also understanding the various notebooks that we have: SDG on water, 9, and SDG 11 on urbanization, and also SDG 13 on climate action, also 14 on marine, and 5 life on land, basically land degradation, and etc., etc. So this is a very useful resource. And as we move to the next, just to summarize, we have applications in agriculture and food security. Here we'll introduce you to crop health. So this is an example of crop health in Sisala, Ghana. So an example of some sites I was given by the Ministry of Food and Agriculture. And it was a very good use case, because then we were able to see the trends, and I'll be able to show you the notebook. So on the crop health, you're able to run the notebook, and it will give us an indication of the crop productivity over time. And here we're able to use the Sentinel-2 data, and we're able to change the coordinates of the area, and we're able to look at the extents and the buffer to the region. So this is the area, and from this now, we're able to show you up to the 4th step, where now you're able to digitize individual plots and see the productivity over time, and also looking at the specific plots, specific areas, and trends, very key for our University of Cape Town, and also YouthMappers at UCC, and also possibilities that you can use this for your learning projects, and also other engagements with the community and farming as well, and seeing the trends over time. So here we're able to see the trends in 2023, going to 2024. And this one resonates very well with our rainy season, which is expected around August, sometimes September. So we're able to do planting, or then we do the planting just before the rains, around April, May. Then crop production goes up. Then towards early the year, most of it is harvesting towards April. Then also we can change the dates of the year, possibly 2023 example. Then you go to the kernel and restart and run all the cells. And this one will give us an opportunity to see the trends each year, and also providing insights at the farm level, which is very key of how we can use space data from space and Sentinel-2 to give us insights. This one gives you the number of images that are captured, which are at least 50% cloud-free or good quality. And when the cell is able to give us this dialogue, where we can now digitize specific plots, and this will be also dependent on the information you have in the area. And as you can see, the trends from the September of 2022 going towards the early of 2023, and you can see the trends towards September, where it's at the peak of harvesting. So also this one is based on the specific crop that was being grown in this area. and each region will have a different phenology. And also, when we look at the user guide, we're able to show the specific documentation of each of these notebooks. So crop health gives us an indication of what we were just covering using the vegetation index. And also you might also choose the enhanced vegetation index, which will give you some more refined information. So this knowledge is power for us to make sure we are empowered. That is an example of forecasting vegetation. It was of interest when we were working with a researcher who was doing some work in Zimbabwe and also piloting to other parts of the continent. Able to see that the same area where we were actually showing, we had very good insights towards a September high peak, then low peaks towards February. And these trends, we can then forecast the trend to the other coming 2 or 3 months. Then also we have vegetation phenology, which is very key using Sentinel-2. And this one now gives us specific trends from the start of a season, which was likely what I was trying to explain earlier on. Then going towards September, October, the season is almost at its peak, and the end of the season is at December. So this one you can do for different years, and it will give you an indication on the performance and how each year was different from the other one. Then we compare this with the radar data, which was able to do, and the curves are almost similar. So when we talk about radar vegetation index, here you're using Sentinel-1, which is able to penetrate cloud cover. Also, we Digital developed the NDVI animations, which are very key because in this particular example, the same region, we're able to see the trends in the vegetation, and we're able to compare this with the rainfall normally for that region. So it will tell us certain months were a little bit drier above than normal, and others received more rain above expected. So this animation give you the vegetation changes within a year, and it will be very good to do historical comparison and see the trends based on the ground data that we have. We also have an example of burnt area mapping based on the information that was recorded. And this was an example of West Maputo Municipal, where there was an incident of fire which was recorded. This one uses the normalized burn ratio. We also have applications in the water resources. Here we are introducing the water extent mapping. And here we have an example of Lake Bosom Twi. Here showing the trends of water observation from space that you can see. Then in the next one, now I'll be able to show you using Sentinel-2. We're able to generate the water mean index, which is very key to understand the trends. Here 2060, moving to a very good month of September, quite good rainfall. And as you can see, most of our rainfall around September has been good. And then we have exceptional times when the lake was a little bit dry just before July of 2018, 2019. So we have this example to show you, and this small demo, you can be able to see how it's very easy for you to be able to use this for your application. Looking at Bosom Twi, we can be able to inform the people living in Kumasi, how the trends have been over time, the extent of the lake, and how it has been fairly stable compared to other examples that we could be having. You could also have this application and look at also one of the lagoons around Cape Coast. It's very nice to inform us how best to use a platform and how we're able to present the results to the different stakeholders and inform them about the trends. This is also very useful also for Environmental Protection Agency, as well as colleagues from the Ministry of Water and the Ministry of Environment to understand what factors and what has been happening from space, and also collecting ground information like the YouthMappers on the trends over time and what has been recorded and informed. We're able to compare this in the Digital Africa maps. Looking at the water bodies, we can see the trend that I mentioned, and you can see the lake has been fairly okay over time. Then you can also be able to share these results as well with other colleagues. So looking at the same, we have the tool on the water bodies animation. Here we are providing the trends and looking at times when we had quite some low levels. around 2019, which we were able to see. Then also same trend was in 2012. This one is very key also to understand the trends. Then we have the wetlands insight tool, and this one we are trying to look at Weja Reserve just near Accra and seeing the trends over time, and even show you the size of the polygon and how it is able to provide for you some information, comparing what is seen from space using the fractional cover, the water. Then looking at applications in flood assessment, we had an example from Lokoja in Nigeria, from one of our partners, Afrigis in Nigeria, and also this could be something that we could replicate to areas where we've recorded floods. We have this application to actually show you and see that in the next session, we'll be able to share such examples. Digital North Africa continues to engage with different partners and partnering with International Water Management Institute, their program Digital Innovations for Water Secure. We've been able to train various stakeholders in Ethiopia, Ghana, Burkina Faso, and Zambia. And also we co-developed a learning module that I invite you to try. It's on introduction to water products, and this one is very key. We also have good relations with Esri. They've been showcasing some of their work in our Esri Digital Africa live session every week in English and French. And in this particular session, we had also Arabic, which is very interesting. We have applications in urbanization, just showing you the trends on urban, where you can be able to see the trends. And then we can also be able to have in the water settlement footprint data. Then also looking at urban green space, can be able to generate the same, looking at Kumasi, the trends gained in land cover, and the gain in green spaces. We also have applications in coastal and marine, and here we are looking at coastal erosion. For example, this particular village of Fuvome, it was very good example that we were able to show some interesting results, and you can see the visualization of the same. Then also through this, we can be able to look at a denso wetland where we had also erosion. And in this particular example, we're able to zoom to the area and even calculate how much coastal change has happened in terms of erosion. And even you can do some measurement and see the trends over time. So you can even export the shoreline data as a CSV file for your work and further comparison in your other Esri software. We also have the coastline dashboard, which is very key. We can look at our country level coastline and how it has changed over time. We also have applications in floating marine debris, where we worked with Dr. Jokutula from University of Lagos in Nigeria. And this one we can showcase it even in our coast of Ghana and seeing how the debris have changed over time. We also have cross-cutting applications. Here we are looking at land gradation. We've worked very much with our partner, Sahel and Sahel Observatory in Tunisia, and our partner Afrigist in Nigeria, where we co-developed a model on land gradation, covering land cover, forest monitoring, forest area mapping, burnt area mapping, certification. So this is an example of land degradation for our country, Ghana, seeing the trends over time. In northern Ghana, the trends have been quite worrying over time. And this is also very informative to inform land use, land cover changes over time. So just giving you an example of how to access the platform. So we had the sandbox, also the different notebooks. This is the applications for land use, land cover for Ghana. And this was one of the notebooks where we were able to generate some products on land cover level and how it has changed over time, and looking at the trends over time. Very interesting to inform us how our cities are growing and how our green areas are either declining or increasing, and also looking at specific hotspot areas. So looking also at vegetation index, we're able to come up with some trends over time. And this is just for our informative purpose, as we can be able to follow up after this session today, so that we can be able to see how best to use the platform for different applications. So this is just a land use, land cover, and very good information and at country level, which you can even use for your projects and also on reporting. then looking at the various causes that we have, including land degradation and also coastal erosion, urbanization, etc., etc. So this means that you also have our training and help where you can get more information. Of course, then you'll be having my contact that we can continue to engage with you to keep you more informed. Then also looking at almost as we're ending up, we have collaboration with different countries, different institutions, and this one we had a big data in Ghana, in school in South Africa, and here we had different countries even in Ghana. We even had participants from different universities, and they were using Digital Africa for their projects in agriculture, mapping water extent, urban development, etc., etc. Then also we have a series of webinars that we've recorded with a group of Earth observations, covering different applications from agriculture, urban water, and coastal and marine, and also cross-cutting applications. And also our approach to capacity building is we normally provide the live sessions every week in English and French. Then we provide specific training sessions to our groups like University of Cape Coast, and we keep everybody engaged so that we innovate Africa and have the Africa we want. So our learning platform is self-paced. You get a free certificate of participation and the various courses are there. Also, we've worked closely with partners to develop these courses as well as validate them. And we are currently adding 2 more courses on climate toolkit and wetland workflow. And we'll be adding more courses in due time. And also just as a summary in our new website, you can see the platform, the learning itself, where you're able to get the more resources, the link to introduction to the sandbox, the user guide, and even registering for the weekly live sessions, very key and informative so that you're engaged. And these are the courses which have now been refined and revamped. And as we develop new courses, we keep you engaged, even looking at how the course has been, free enrollment, just an example of a course like agriculture. You look at the different areas, the topics, the sessions, are very key to improve our learning at the university so that we are really empowered more than other people, because knowledge is power, and using this knowledge to get more even certificate of participation in our various works, and also very key in the YouthMappers to grow the network and empower others when possible, and meaning that your projects will be at a very good high level in the continent. So the introduction to Sandbox is also first step to start, giving you an idea of Python coding, the scripts, and the modules that were developed. This was the first course developed in the year 2021. The user guide, fairly very well, gives you documentation on all the notebooks, and also very like WebGIS services, how you can access our services in your QGIS or Esri. And we continue to add more information like the direct access, how you can access this data on your Google Colab or AWS SageMaker, making the opportunities unlimited, anyone could use, so that we ultimately empowered in the greater continental agenda of the Africa we want, even links to how to connect to our Africa Job Portal so that you're more informed and even able to see the various applications Esri has developed. So here we have some Esri Learn lessons we developed with Esri, giving you tutorials step by step that you're empowered to use the platform. And even our coastline dashboard is there, and also continuing to add more Learn lessons to ensure that we empower the continent, even looking at the data catalog and adding more information, even the references, which are very key to add your information and data. The resources, more information about the program, the platform itself, the focus areas, and very soon we'll be adding you the list of our insights. So this is just our live sessions. We normally record them and we put them here. They are very key to empower everybody to follow after the sessions have been recorded, so that we're able to be empowered to see what other topics that you could cover for you, and also giving us ideas So we have the live sessions in English and French. This week we'll be having a session, next week on 18th, it will be a session on soil organic carbon. Then we acknowledge the partners who've made this a success, especially Australian government helps it trust, and other partners like in Ghana, we've worked closely with the Ghana Statistical Service, EPA and ADMO, and of course, the University of Cape Coast. And also recently we are working with in Professor Amos at University of Energy and Natural Resources, Sunyani. So thanking you so much, everyone, for joining us, and also welcoming you to unlock the potential of tomorrow with us, and also seeing if our moderator, Dr. Julia, will be having some message for us as we wind up the session. So the session is recorded. I'll share the recording shortly. And Dr. Julia.
Yes, hello, Dr. Ken. Thank you so much for making time to meet us, even though the notice was short from our end. I think that this introductory lecture will introduce my people to the Digital Africa platform, and so at least join the live sessions and develop their soft skills, because that is what we seek to do. So I'm very, very grateful that it's time for us. And luckily today they had a program which we had postponed. So they also joined as a group, and I think you've seen them in the room there. So I'm very grateful, and I hope that perhaps there will be other opportunities to indulge them subsequently in some of these educative activities. Very, very grateful. Thank you.